For the first time in Integrity Ignite Series history, we return to Daytona to get our second season of the year back going. It's going to be the 2023 season, the second half of the tale that we've started in February. Yet again, the World Center of Racing plays host to the action. Here as the season opener, it's the Big Evil Designs 200, and as it stands, we've got 7 minutes of practice remaining before the race gets on its way. Great to have you all back live on FTN. It's been a while since the Ignite Series got back to the racing swing of things, and after a fantastic championship race at Charlotte, I'm back hosting this broadcast as well. As always, David Kreutz, nice to be with you all here on FTN, producing and commentating tonight's race. It's going to be 80 laps, 200 miles. We'll have a full load of qualifying to get through as well. The weather, it has been wild. You might be able to tell that already by the way things are looking. Made sure this is the best visibility possible at the moment. Have all the access, every single driver most you can get at the moment. It looks like the fog is rolling through. Should not be a permanent issue. It's the morning here in Daytona, but there is no sun out. Time goes on, that could change. Drivers rolling to the front stretch yet again. Gael Brooks is probably the fastest driver here in our practice session. Number 71 machine tops the chart so far. And right behind him, it's going to be Chris Cabot, number 5, and Chad Cole going to be in the third. As it stands, over 30 drivers have gone into the session so far, looking to race in tonight's main event. Looks like every one of which should be able to qualify to make the race. So no worries about drivers being disqualified as the night goes on. The number 71 machine up in the wall, and it looks like for him, there's a problem momentarily. Take it back down to pit road there. Just like that, we're back on the way. 5 minutes still on his lap. Gael Brooks fastest by 47 1,000ths of a second. Chris Cabot then in second, and for Cabot, who only ran half a full season in competition in the Integrity Racing League, made an immediate impact. Sure to be one of the drivers to watch this season, continuing to become more of a well-known regular. I think he's going to be one of the guys to watch tonight as well. Of course, defending champion DJ Stagner on pit road right now. He'd love to go back to victory lane and get it over with early. His first win of the season, one prior, the inaugural Ignite Series. Well, that came very early, going, of course, before the playoffs. Bristol, not Daytona. Love to knock it out even earlier than before as Michael Stroll finds himself back on track, looking to go full time in this campaign after coming back strong at Michigan. Maybe he'll carry that momentum even further into the big tracks yet again. That's another driver to watch. Right now, 3 wide yet again. Some drivers making the leap over from the Octane Series to the Ignite Championship. Cody Smith, who's in 17th right now, 3 wide in the middle of this small pack. The defending Integrity Racing champion overall. 2022 came home with the hardware, and tonight looking to make another run at it here. Was on the bubble there to make it in that final 8 chase, just not able to get the championship done in our 2 race final rounds. Stagner was simply the most consistent in that formula, and who came out with the title as a result. Now, top of the board, it looks like it's going to be even still. Gael Brooks, Chris Cabot's going to be there in second, and Chad Cole remains in third. AC Shu's going to be position number 4 with Blake Gordon sporting a new number there in 5th. Blake Gordon will be one of the many drivers changing their driver identity. 13 as Alec Daffin, like we've seen in the Saturday Night Truck Series, running 48 yet again. Shaw Racing Products Alec Daffin with a brand new look was the number 1 last season. Now, that's no longer the case. Kyle Cooper down a pit road this time through, registered as the 30th driver to take a time. Alan Dobbs has yet to take one, and he's making his way through the foggy Daytona International Speedway. Team on the backstretch now with defending champion DJ Stagner. And it looks like 35 drivers have registered for this season opener, and it does not appear all of which will be able to take a time. Adam Wood, personal circumstances coming up very close to the start of this race. not going to be able to register for a qualifying lap. Going to have at the most 34 drivers going at it. Still a fantastic field. Looks like the consistent group that was last season has come back yet again, looking to compete for another championship. Of course, one driver looking to get it done with number 24 of Thomas Bressi. As it stands, the 24 machine jumped up to the middle of the pack, 27th in timing. Currently finds himself on pit road as we get a better angle of pit road. Bressi down there with many drivers right now. We have his onboard camera back on FTN, so we'll be watching him with a brand new look. Of course, VR headset, definitely a great perspective to keep an eye out for. Not only is it the realest simulator on the market for the Xfinity machines, it's almost as if he's inside the car, perspective and all. So keep an eye on Thomas Bressi tonight as he hopes to charge through the field. News there as well. Going to be fourth on the board right now. Looks like only 3 drivers ahead, with Chad Cole third, DeBow second, Gael Brooks in first. Chris is going to be practicing a pit at road entry as one driver spins. That's Carson Bechtel. And all is well for the number 5 to make a strong impact here as your defending Daytona winner, Rob Ackley, has joined the session as well. Ackley, number 22, a 2-time race winner last season, the first driver to win in the playoff type system we have here, and the first driver to win overall. He'd love to come home with another checkered flag at Daytona. Good chance he does if he just keeps up the same racecraft that he had in the most recent race at the World Center of Racing. Taking it down the stretch, that's going to be Nicholas Cohan, now in the number 21. So Cohan has a brand new look as well and make stuff happen with this new identity, switching from the number 57 to the 21 here. Going to be a full season change. Another driver, different look on the season. As we go around, more drivers returning. How about Brian McFerrin, number 7 machine, going to be behind Brandon Bernhardt. Now with Bernhardt just in front of the number 7, a 3-car packed forms with Joe Dinsmore. All the drivers who made it into the clash last season, Dinsmore might be the most unlikely of which to have made that last 8. Gave it a huge run to try to come home with that championship. Looks like he comes alive when the playoffs are in session tonight at Daytona. Might be one of his best chances to get a win early. Love to capitalize on that and then get hot late for a chance at the title as well. We've seen how one season plays out already this year. Now we're looking to see the next. Gael Brooks is the fastest man here in practice. Let's get on to qualifying and see who's got the stuff to take home a race win. And practice has concluded. The Daytona International Speedway, still fog all over the track, but there is still some light here. See if that's only temporary, as it looks like when qualifying loads up, it's going to disappear yet again. DeBow going to be on his way in the number 5 machine. Chad Mikas there as well. And Rob Ackley in the number 22. All taking on the daunting task of battling Daytona when the visibility isn't optimal. It's going to be tricky for these drivers, that is for certain. Take a look on board with Rob Ackley, defending Daytona winner, and see how little there really is in front of them. For Rob Ackley, your defending race winner here at Daytona, going to come onto the backstretch, and there's less than a mile in visibility right now. Does not have the ability to what's in front of him. At least gets about the halfway point. Now turn 3 back in frame. Ackley's going to have some trouble, and so is a driver like Jonathan Giervon as the number 33 with a brand new look, sporting the Pepsi rebrand, make his way onto the track as well. Now the 33 back on the charge. Him looking to make it a better season. A lot of drivers looking to keep that consistency in mind. Most drivers here have top 10, top 15 pace. We've seen it all season long. Most drivers can contend. The question is, can you do it regularly? Maybe that's not the best place to try here at Daytona, but the rest of the season in mind, you want to be able to keep up with the best of them, race after race, get out of the wrecker, might have a chance to come home with a win or two. Giervon's going to take it to the green flag, and qualifying's underway with Chad Cole, the number 17, also on the move. Now, AC and Blake Gordon going as well. Gordon, of course, coming back. It was a part-time season for him last time around, and what was number 48 operation, now, of course, new colors. It's not Jimmy Johnson's former number, but it is Jimmy John's as the sponsor. Interesting to note, red, white, and black machine take it around for his first time lap to conclude. Here we go. Blake Gordon going to be on the way. That time lap will put him up to 7th on the board. Looks like your provisional pole sitter, Casey Shue. Casey's looking real quick right now, and it looks like Daytona is one of his stronger tracks. These plate races have seen him up there consistently. John Carmody is going to be there in 2nd for now. Chad Mikas is going to be in 3rd, and Jonathan Gibbons now in 4th. Drivers have taken the time so far. Now even more coming through the pylon, and 7 minutes remain. There's a lot of time to take a lap here. Some drivers are going to wait a little longer to see whether or not the weather gets any better. Some sunlight can come out, a bit more visibility. Might be a bit of an advantage for these guys. See, even for Casey's perspective here, very little to be seen until they hit the front stretch. Out of the stripe yet again, that's going to be the number 4 machine getting through the populated area on the track. Front stretch, stands are packed. Now the number 4 is on his way again. Anthony DeBarro goes up to the top of the board with Rob Ackley now in 2nd. Chad Cole scored in 3rd, only to be outdone by Michael Stroll. Now the number 38 puts himself to the top of the board, just outside the front row. 4 drivers are coming through. Justin Morton ends his run. He's going to be scored in 12th right now. Alan Dobbs in 19th finds himself at the back of the timed charts. Coming around to end his qualifying run this time by much quicker lap. That will put Allen up into 4th. Nice run there. It looks like the only driver going for a brand new run is Alec Daffin, and number 48 machine make it through for Shaw Racing, getting of course ready. It looks like we get a bit tongue twisted there at this number 48 machine, looking to twist up the results. 20th right now, still got a ways to go. Let's ride on board. And you'll see Alec Daffin there, the number 48 machine, working the bottom groove right now. He's been very quick at the big tracks, of course, in all competition here in the Ignite Series. But it came down to Michael Stroll's dominant return victory at Michigan. Daffin was the only driver who seemed to have a chance to get him back. It was almost full throttle racing for the both of them early on, but when tire strategy came into play, Daffin faded out of the picture. Tonight, we could still see tire strategy, and Daffin is well prepared. Saturday night on FTN, he raced in the Saturday Night Truck League, fittingly titled, and he ran a great race. One of only 4 drivers able to stretch fuel to get to the end on green without taking an extra pit stop. Although there was an overtime finish, so that ended his plan. Daffin looks good right now. He puts himself up into 3rd, with now just under 5 minutes remaining. Nick Tarbuck going to be on the way in the number 29 machine as the fog continues to be a presence here at Daytona. We'll keep the bottom right number indicator on for the majority of this race, so long as you guys can know which driver is which. Tarbuck comes back with a bit of a different look. Same number for him, but a different sponsor. The Brembo 29 machine, a bit less of a Kevin Harvick throwback, more of his own thing. Tarbuck with a brand new identity too, but he'll keep the number he ran just a season ago. Bit of a different look indeed. Tarbuck, very competitive driver here in the Integrity Racing League. He has 1 win the Octane Series, looking to go into victory lane on Monday nights as well. He's always one of the guys in top 5, top 10 contention. Just has to break through to get that top spot and hold it till the very end. Tarbuck going to be now 22nd on the board. This is his fast lap. Let's see what he can do. And in addition to Nick Tarbuck, right now, Trevor Trago and DJ Stagner are all on the track. 175 miles an hour for Tarbuck as we speak. 0.3 of a second quicker than his most recent lap. Now flying down the stretch, looking to make up more time. Tarbuck coming through almost half a second faster. Might be able to break into the top 10 at this rate. Need to make up a bit more time if he wants to go any further. Now he's firmly above half a second quicker, 0.6 of a second compared to his last. Trying to make up 0.7 now, and for Tarbuck, coming across to the stripe this time by, he is quick. Quick enough to go up to the top of the board, but how high can he reach? And it looks to be 14th. Lost a bit at the end of the run there, which sends Nick Tarbuck back down. Now only Trevor Trago on the track, admittedly on pit road. Get things started in just a few. Nobody's on the track taking a lap as we speak. We're going to take it to your starting grid. Things continue to get settled in. Only one driver currently on the track. That will be Trevor Trago. Stands on pit road at the moment. For 20 drivers have taken a lap so far. 22 to be exact at the moment. 4 drivers still have the opportunity to do so in Big Evo Designs 200. Big Evo Designs renewing their sponsorship here in the Integrity Racing League, supporting the season opener yet again. Tonight, a bit shorter of a season opener, 80 laps compared to the original 100. We are still going to see one great race. I'll tell you this much, we have a fantastic starting grid coming back yet again. Drew Trader and chat, thank you for stopping by, supporting Forrest Smith in the number 8413 Simware machine. Absolutely a great driver to keep an eye out for. He got new colors tonight, and they look fantastic on our broadcasting overlays. Let's take a look at them. Let's take a look at the entirety of the field, and without further ado, let's get this season on the roll. It's going to be the starting grid for the first race of the 2023 B season. The Big Evo Designs 200 brings you its starting grid, and Anthony DeBarro, the number 27, slides up to the top of the board on provisional pole with a 50.512. Next to him, defending Daytona winner Rob Ackley, going to be qualifying second with a 50.521. Then going to be Alec Daffin in third with a 50.555, and 1,000th of a second behind. Michael Stroll returning to full-time competition, going to be there in the number 38 machine. Alan Dobbs rounding out your top 5. Then from there, going to be Chad Cole in the number 17. Sixth position for him with a 50.58 on the timing sheets, and Chad Mikas in 7th, 0.005 of a second behind the third row. He is inside of row 4. Next to him, Blake Gordon with a brand new number, now going to be there in the 8th position with a 50.586. Chris Cabot making his first Daytona appearance is going to be there in the 9th position, and to round out the top 10, just barely able to make tonight, it's the number 24 of Thomas Bresci, there with a 50.591. Then going to be Brian McFerrin in the 11th position with a 50.599, and Sean Carmody going to be there in the number 40 machine, 50.603 for that number 40. Casey Shu not too far behind in 13th with Nick Tarbuck 14th. Brandon Bernhardt currently sitting in 15th. Going to be Justin Morton in position number 16 with a 50.625, and Forrest Smith will be 17th with a 50.636. Cal Filarski, 18th position, going to be outside of row number 9. He'll be there with a 50.648. Jonathan Giervong will be 19th with Nicholas Cohan, rounding out your top 20. Then from there, you'll see Shane Ewing's going to be 21st with Kyle Cooper 22nd. Matthew Funnels is 23rd with Don Stevens 24th. Jacob Fife is 25th with Cody Smith 26th. Jay Stagner's 27th with Trevor Trago 28th. Carson Bechtel's 29th with Travis McQuistion 30th. Round out the pack, it's Alan Rawell 31st. Dial Brooks 32nd. Chris Matthews 33rd. Adam Wood 34th. And Joe Dinsmore rounds out the 35-car field. Get it done just in time. 5 minutes of warm-up. That is your starting grid for the Big Evo Designs 200. Integrity Ignite Series is back on the roll, and drivers have 5 extra minutes to get additional practice in to make sure that they've got the right stuff under the hood. For Daytona, not a lot has to be changed for most drivers. Maybe they'll change their steering ratio, maybe a bit on the brake bias if they really want to get picky there, but otherwise, most of these guys will roll with what they have. Won't be all too worried about it. Wanda Goons representing the number 37 of Trevor Trago, also representing Brad Patton in the league. Right now, the 37 machine representing the team alone. Teammate stops by in just a few minutes, still a little more time before the race gets on its way. So might just have an opportunity to make it in before the green flag drops. It's still foggy here in Daytona with 3 minutes remaining, but bear with us here. Fog is still expected to roll out from Daytona Beach. It just hasn't yet. Field drivers are racing down to the front straightaway. Trevor Trago going to be the first of which there with the number 40 of Sean Carmody. Both make it through one another. Now we're watching racing again. Drivers get their final warm-up laps through. So Dinsmore going to be in the biggest pack at the moment. Got Thomas Bressie, Kyle Cooper, DJ Stagner, Casey Shue, and 17 Machine just behind. That's going to be, of course, 17 rounding out the field. He's got a push now from Casey Shue. Just like that, Chad Cole are going to be there with the number 4, trying to make stuff happen. We're going to put the bottom right number indicator back on the bottom of the screen. Joe Dinsmore, the 95, got a special paint scheme as always. Jacob Fife, your league owner, with a slightly redone look for Pro Powder and Paint, just a slight difference. It's going to be definitely one of those eye-catching paint schemes that we'll keep an eye on all season long. Fife now going to be 9th on the board. He's taking individual laps here. He does not have a pack around him. Chad Cole and the rest of the guys on the top of the board, well, they do. Minutes remaining, they're still getting extra laps in, ensuring they've got what it takes to run in a group. Pack racing, always one of the most important pieces of putting it together here at Daytona. It's most often not necessarily what you know, but it is who you know. Got the right drivers to work with in a pack race like Daytona or Talladega, odds are you'll be able to have a successful night. Right now, everyone trying to build relationships on the track, getting settled in with this field once again. The hope is we have some green flag racing. Of course, a lot of these guys have not hit the sim as much ever since the most recent season ended in May of this year. We've had a bit of a break, coming back here just a few months afterward. Summer vacation has ended, and now the racing back in full swing. Stagner's going to get a push here from the number 73 of Kyle Cooper. Both drivers working with one another right now. Stagner, Cooper, 1-2 in a tandem. Nobody else around them here with 1 minute and 15 seconds left. The grid is back on your screen. Looks like the sunlight not going to show, so track temperatures are going to be, for the most part, quite low. Let's give you the rundown of what's going on here tonight with your, as always, FTN race rundown. 80 laps or 200 miles in the Big Evil Designs 200, and no faster pairs or damage repaired of any instantaneous sort in this session, in this league. If you get involved with a wreck and there's major damage, you got to fix it on pit road and take your time. NASCAR Xfinity machines are going to be used tonight. It's going to be the Camaros, the Mustangs, and the Supras, as opposed to the Camrys used in the Cup Series. Even though we did believe originally this would be a sunset race, looks like the sun not out to set. It's going to be largely in the morning tonight. Of course, morning in sim. You all watching, for the most part, it seems to be nighttime skies in the United States. Then from there, no recent winner, but your defending champion, DJ Stagner, looking to come back and defend his crown. Indeed, he's going to be on pit road right now as we take a look at 64, getting back on his way. Daytona International Speedway, one of the most historic circuits in NASCAR's history and in the history of motorsport. Dubbed as the World Center of Racing, opened in 1959, it's seen competition from all disciplines of motorsport: Indycar, NASCAR, ARCA, we've seen, of course, motorcycles, AMA, and more, such as endurance racing in the form of IMSA. You can see quite a lot of racing here at Daytona throughout the year, and the virtual packs, of course, are going to form yet again. Pack racing, what Daytona is most known for. Expecting to see some very close, hard-fought racing as the starting grid arrives on your screen for the first time tonight. This is your FTN track info. 4 turns, 2.5 miles, and over 30 degrees of banking to make up one of NASCAR's fastest tracks. Now the field's coming up onto your screen here. You see there's not much else in frame besides the starting grid. Taking a look at it, the pace truck in front already. 80 laps of action scheduled for tonight's show. Anthony DeBarro there in first. Rob Ackley then in second. Third spot currently held by the number 48 machine of Alec Daffin. Rounding out that top 4, it is going to be Michael Stroll, and Alan Dobbs is there inside the top 5. All of these drivers threats to take home the trophy. Don't know when you come to a plate track. It could be anyone from the front to the back. grid on its way. For the first time tonight, let's hear those engines roar off pit road. Drivers from the field to the back on their way. You can see now the last of it's going to be Joe Dinsmore on the move. There's already on the circuit. Daytona's never looked like this in the Integrity Racing League's history. It's a brand new look, of course, the fog not helping these drivers, but it's sure to play into the picture here. Might see a little less aggressive racing, less visibility. You don't quite know when the wrecks are coming up. Say something happens with the leaders. Drivers in about 30th place, they will not be aware of it until they see the smoke just ahead of them. It's going to be trickier to manage the racing tonight. Navarro going to be there in first, Rob Ackley in second. They're going to keep their track position for now, not going to drop to the back of the hoping to keep it up there until the race. Alec Daffin knows what it's like to see 80 laps of green flag racing at Daytona. He saw it just a few nights ago. And we repeat that feat. Always a chance. Right now, no certainty in plate racing. Navarro still finds himself up ahead. iRacing official pace truck will leave the drivers to the green. And from there, fate of this race in their hands. 34 drivers have loaded up into the night session. The official pace truck will drop in to pit road. This time by, it's going to be number 27. Leading them for the first time this season, the pace truck is in, and now for the very first time, the green flag will fly. First lap is underway. Let's go racing in the Big Evil Designs 200. The Integrity Ignite Series is back in action. And as the field comes across the stripe for lap one, Rob Ackley back to the front in Daytona. He'll lead them through the first lap, and it looks like now it's going to be double file between Navarro and Michael Stroll, just a position behind. The rest of the field going to stay there as we speak. You'll see Thomas Bressi going to be in the bright number 24. Going to be one of the highlights to see through the fog. Chrome is going to beam out compared to most of these drivers, so be able to know where he is all night long based off just that. Some sun is still peeking through right now, but not all too much. Fog is still on the track, but we'll see if that lasts all night long. The odds of that are quite slim. Rob Ackley now leading the way, sees another driver to the side. That's going to be his domination, intimidation racing teammate, Michael Stroll. They're both going to be side by side now for the lead. Ackley still has it. Got one driver he can trust right next to him. Going to be still the number 22 down to the bottom yet again. He's got Chad Cole still there by two, several rows deep. Taking a look off back, you'll see guys now who are getting a little further strangled apart. They strung apart at least. Maybe they're going to be strangled in terms of losing that draft, losing that air. But guys like Trevor Drago, Carson Bigtel, Kyle Cooper, they're laying back right now, forming a second pack that's going to be a bit more conservative in terms of strategy. Maybe it's going to be the better for them, trying not to get involved in wrecks. There's still a long way until this race is over. You don't want to ruin your opportunity to take home that checkered flag oh so early. So Stroll is going to be able to lead it that time around on the high side. He's got his teammates still to the bottom. And Alec Daffin now giving as good a push as he can to Ackley. From there, just ahead of the number 38. Inside lane, outside lane, they're pretty much even up in front. Back in the field will show you the inside lane is much more built up, but it doesn't mean all too much right now. The side forces here in the Xfinity Series cars allow for it to sort of become equalized even if there are lesser cars in a certain line. Even though the outside has lesser cars, still there, holding up a fight, trying to take that lead. Alec Daffin still going to find himself there in the inside lane. He's got Rob Ackley still in first with him, working well together, double file, and still is that way. Haven't seen three wide just yet. Aggression is not up. They're leading right now in the 32 machine, holding a brand new look. He's got a throwback on. It's the Tide Ride, and that number 32, originally driven by PPI Motorsports' Ricky Craven, to a fantastic photo finish victory in Darlington. We're going to get some victory luck here in Daytona. Photo finishes, not out of the ordinary, too. Now as we see a three-wide battle for the lead, one man going to be held up high. That's Blake Gordon, the first driver to try it up top. Suddenly, Chad Cole's going to go to the high side there. He likes what he saw, but it looks like he's going to get filed out all the same. Thomas Bressy's going to almost leave him some room there, but Blake Gordon will indeed shuffle him out of the lane. Like that, the number 24 machine is up to third already. No. Of course, that number 24 machine is up in front. There's still a lot to learn from his in-car perspective. Take a look here on FTN as we get our battle camera now focused inside the number 24 of Thomas Bressi. That's a VR camera showing you exactly what right now in person. If he is inside the cockpit of his number 24, Thomas Bressi, your new race leader, finds himself ahead of everyone. Gonna have to do all that blocking, paying attention to his mirror there. Very minor head movement. Not much is erratic right now. Taking in the sights and the sounds. It's as if he's inside that Chevy Camaro. Rolling very well so far. 6 laps in, it's the number 24 machine who leads the way. And even though visibility not too good for him either, still has clear control of where he wants to go. That's Thomas Bressier, leading driver so far, with Blake Gordon now in second, and John Carmody in third, and Michael Stroll is in fourth. 7 laps in, just like that, we've got ourselves a new race leader and a few drivers that maybe up top. Taking a look right now in the middle of the field, the 38 machine, Michael Stroll, is going to peek through the fog yet again. EC Delco, number 38, is lined up now with his teammate, Rob Ackley. Fades back a bit further than he'd like to, now finds himself just outside of the top 5. He's letting his teammate do the leading right now, which wise in terms of not being all too aggressive, but otherwise, of course, drivers would like to make some moves, them being the leaders for a change. Looks like though, right now, teamwork is what makes the dream work. Won't see guys making moves for themselves, at least until the second half begins. Roll's going to be there, and up on the high side, a brand new number font, Justin Morton. Morton right now running just within the top 5 confines, and after a very unlucky season for him last time around, he's looking to make things work better on Monday nights, better than it went last season. That number 9 has a lot of speed when he makes it to the checkered flag. Big problem, he simply couldn't make it there most of the time. You might remember him from the fantastic battle we had at the Nürburgring involving himself and Thomas Bressi going for the race win. Lane involved in that one too. Those three put on a fantastic performance. That was Justin Morton's highlight race. Okayama, another road course battle he's involved in as well. A great road course ringer, but the number 9 wants to prove to you all this season a bit more than that. I think he's got a good chance to, as long as he makes it to the finish line in most of these races. Sun peaks out a bit more, which is a positive sign. Maybe we can change up the way this track looks very soon. 9 laps in, and slightly more visibility than before. Bressi going to be down to the bottom side. He's got Blake Gordon now working with him. John Carmody takes it to the race lead with Nick Tarbuck there in second. And Nick Tarbuck, the number 29 machine, going to be there in now the third spot. Fade back as Bressi tries to take that top spot yet again. 24 machine got to run down low. Can he take it to the stripe? It looks like it's going to be very close. Bressi's now got the advantage. 10 laps in out of 80. First stint has gone swimmingly so far. No drivers making extra risky moves. They know what's ahead of them here, and they know what isn't. Visibility. You can't see. No reason to risk it. And right now, turns 1 and 2 look to be the best place to see anything on the track. It looks like as the time's gone on, roll over. Now these drivers to the sunlight. Yet again, we could be taking our first next level racing promotional break at the time the visibility gets better, which means we'll change the graphics to ensure the highest quality viewing experience is still in order. It's troublesome right now for most drivers to be even a few cars ahead of them. Let's take a look right now inside the driver of the number 25, your race sponsor, Chad Mikas. And for Chad, now the clouds are becoming a bit more visible yet again. The 25 machine is still mired back in traffic. If he wants to make any moves, he'll have to get through them first. Then think about, of course, indeed, getting to the front in strategy 2. Of course, getting that lead, but indeed, the difference between leading on a whim and having that strategy to lock it down and going until the race is over. I believe that the way things are going right now, with the very calm, calculated racing we are seeing, that we're absolutely going to see some more strategic battles. It comes down to who's got the tires and who does not, and more importantly, who has the fuel. Can't make it to the end. If you can't make sure you get it to that final lap, no way you're going to win. Finish first. You first must finish. These drivers know that's a main principle here in SuperSpeedway Racing. We've seen largely very calm, calculated racing from all of them. Thomas Bressi, he might have not won at Daytona, but he won at Talladega last season. He knows what it's like to get it done in the plate racing atmosphere as well. It's an environment that he's barely able to get wins out of. Doesn't matter if it's a photo finish or a landslide, a win is a win. He got that experience up in front, taking it home with a checkered flag. 12 laps through, he got himself that track position, only Sean Carmody ahead of him. Don't think for now there's much to worry about. Top 2, still double file at the line. And now it looks like the packed stands are in a bit more of the view of the drivers and even the viewers watching on FTN right now. Fog is slowly dissipating, and for a moment there, the sky was truly in frame. Now it looks to be not yet again, so that might have been a temporary blip. Looks like it is still possible to get a clearer view of this circuit. Bressi's got that advantage, 13 laps in. Then he's going to have Blake Gordon pushing, and Nick Tarbuck going to be there side by side with Michael Stroll. Justin Morton on the high side too, with Rob Ackley on the bottom. Gohan and his number 21 there with Alec Daffin and number 48. Both drivers brand new numbers this season. Looks like both of them working side by side within the top 10. Coming down to the stripe once more. It's still going to be Bressi out in front. Then Sean Carmody out the field. It looks like the first pack goes back. Casey Shue. Brandon Bernhardt, a single file. He's got Travis McQuiston. And you have guys like Forrest Smith, Trevor Trago, Carson Bechtel, and DJ Stagner. And a driver we have not mentioned tonight, but he's worth noting, Matthew Funhorst. Number 8 machine, who ended up as the regular season champion, back here in competition yet again. And after a fantastic season that got derailed late in the going, Funhorst is looking to come back with a vengeance and get that championship for himself. Looked like last season he was one of the favorites going into the Clash. Things fell apart. Not a strong set of races. Allowed drivers like Stagner and Bressi to take control, battle for the championship instead. 15 laps in, the number 8 machine finds himself at the back of the field, waiting right now, looking to see whether or not things get aggressive up in front. Does not want to wreck what he's got. No fast repairs. Risking it is not an option for that number 8. The sky is now coming through. The fog is slowly but surely dissipating. 15 laps in out of 80. They're going to get shuffled into the grass. They're still going at full speed, and it looks like there will be a wreck after all. Brian McFerrin going to go around, and it looks like the caution will fly as a result. Drivers check up, and that's what leads to the caution. That's troublesome to make out. At first, it looks like something stops them all, but McFerrin goes around, and that's what's going to bring out the first caution of the day. Look to be minor damage for drivers. Let's take a look up in front and see what in specific caused this wreck. The Nick Tarbuck got shot out of line, and that's going to get Thomas Bressi involved with him. Everyone up in front slows down nicely. You'll see the 40 machine able to pull away. Then back of the field, Brian McFerrin ends up involved. Not going to get a clear angle of it until we take it back even further slow motion. McFerrin currently scored in 20th. Went around, gets involved there with Casey Shue, finds himself coming up the racetrack. 16 laps in, first caution of the season flies for a big checkup. McFerrin ends up on the front bumper of Casey Shue. Now as we get things going yet again, 16 laps in, that's the first caution, bringing to a close your first green flag run of the season. Sean Carmody's the leader, with Thomas Bressie then second, Blake Gordon third, and Nicholas Cohan in fourth. Fifth place going to be held by Michael Stroll, with Chad Mikas in sixth. Bar pit road not being used by any driver. Looks like they're slowly but surely working their way down to the commitment cone. So it will be a race on to pit road this time by. Make it the first of the season. Pit road back in session. Yellow flag flies. The majority of the field comes in. And all trying to be on the same strategy with the rest of the race ahead of them. Now all drivers are going to work their way through. Looks like very few drivers going to stay out on the track, if any. Pit road, it is packed right now. Look, Sean Carmody already going to be on the way. He's trying to do it a bit different. It's Carmody, then Nicholas Cohan, not to be outdone by Michael Stroll, then Justin Morton, Rob Ackley, Alec Daffin, then you're going to see Chad Mikas, Nick Tarbuck, Cal Filarski, Blake Gordon, Carson Bechtel, Travis McQuiston, and to round out your top 15, Matthew Thunhorst, Alan Dobbs, and Shane Ewing. Drivers are still coming out. Bressie's going to lose a lot of spots there. Looks like Kyle Cooper going to be with them, and two extra drivers stay on pit road to repair some damage, get some more work done, maybe a bit more fuel than others, maybe a bit more in terms of tire, and just like that, we got late exits, including Casey Shue and Brian McFerrin, both drivers still continuing after that incident. Sean Carmody has the race lead right now in the number 40 machine. Nicholas Cohan is in second. Michael Stroll now worked his way up into third. Justin Morton now finds himself in fourth with Rob Ackley in fifth. Top five, 17 laps in, goes as follows. The new machine has been so far one of the better drivers in the field, once again making it work on strategy to stay inside the top five. Laid back during that run for the most part. Now as the sky becomes a bit more clear here at Daytona, get rid of the fog settings we have on to make sure that you can the remainder of this track. Now the track is a bit brighter, like the fog is finally disappearing, and the rest of this race should be ran without any issue. Carmody Cohan's then in second, Michael Stroll's in third, Justin Morton works his way down a pit road yet again. He's not the only driver to come through. Some drivers sacrificing their track position. Carson Bechtel, Matthew Thunhorst, you're right behind him there. It's going to be Alan Dobbs coming to pit road. Leaders coming out of the front stretch. 18 laps in out of 80. Sun is shining. The fog is disappearing. And all of a sudden, now the drivers are much easier to see. Fantastic news for us here in the broadcast booth, and it's going to be even better for the drivers. That's the thing. I believe that checkup was largely caused in part due to the fog. Drivers check up in front of you. You really can't see much behind or in front overall, especially when it comes down to that section more than 2-3 rows ahead. Guys like McFerrin, they really couldn't tell what was going on. That's why the 7 ended up with Casey Shue. Now that the fog is left isolated inside the infield, 18 laps in, 80 laps overall. Coming down to lap 19 when the race will go green yet again, it's Sean Carmody out in front. Nicholas Cohan then in second, Rob Ackley in third, Michael Stroll then in fourth. Green flag going to fly after our first caution of the day. A checkup leads to a minor stack up. All 34 drivers who took the green flag are still going. Good to go coming to this restart. And taking an aerial view of Daytona, you don't see much from that perspective, but closer up shots are indicating fog will be done away with by the time lap 40 comes across. 18 laps in so far, and it has been fantastic racing. A bit of an unscheduled caution, of course. Drivers not sure where they were in comparison to each other. Now, with visibility clearing up, the racing get even better. Ace Truck's going to be in for the first restart of the season. It's Sean Carmody leading Nicholas Cohan, and the green flag flies for restart number 1 on the season. Carmody's got that edge as the packs are going to be very broken up on the start. It looks like after about the ninth place driver of Cal Filarski, it was troublesome to get things going. Now Travis McQuistion is there in 10th, but the back of the field is spread apart big. That could be the difference between a short run and a long run here. It's going to take a lot from drivers behind the 20th position to take it up to the front. Might get a smaller group competing for the win, or will we? One driver round, Sean Carmody. Caution flag flies yet again. It's the big one already. Drivers sliding, such as Trevor Trago. Number 40, who led at the time of the yellow flag, is already on the wrecker, just like that. And the caution flag will fly for the second time immediately after our first 20 laps in. We're going to try to get a closer up shot here to find out what caused it. You can see Sean Carmody there in first, and it looks like he's going to get tagged there by Stroll, which takes them all up the track. Michael Stroll hits Chad Mikus, spins them around, and it looks like Trevor Trago is tapped. So is Chad Cole. It's a disaster up ahead. Stroll's going to get hit multiple times. Brandon Bernhardt is tapped too. Carson Bechtel, front end and rear end damage. Now, many winning contenders taken out already. Trouble again. This time it's going to set in at the very front of the field. Leader's going to be in shambles. 20 laps in out of 80. Just like that, 20 laps in, we find ourselves back under caution for the second time. This one's going to allow some drivers in the back of the field to take their back up the order. Rob Ackley right now is going to be second. He does have a bit of damage, though. Be minor, but he'll come in nonetheless to get that fixed up. As we get a close-up view of Kohan, nothing there, but for Rob Ackley, it is dented. Many drivers will have to come in once more, not only for strategy, but for the incidents. Now drivers come through. Al Filarski there, Chad Cole going to be in as well, and as pit road is active, front ends are destroyed, and many drivers might have to consider retiring early. Cody Smith going to be on his way in the number 18 machine. Thank for Smith, he's going to climb up to the front of the board here. Everyone comes in the time pit stall. He's one of the few that does not. And for Next Level Racing, the number 18 machine now finds himself inside the top 10. Next Level Racing is giving out a sim rig with $1,000 on them, champion of the overall Integrity Ignite Series title. Combined points from both the first series and the second, both seasons to be exact, will be calculated, and whoever has the most points out of them all will be awarded big prize at the end of year here in the Integrity Racing League. For dedicated sim racers who want nothing but the best, Next Level Racing is the place to be for all your sim racing 2009. Be sure to check out nextlevelracing.com after tonight's broadcast. Proud supporter of the Integrity Racing League. Love to have you supporting them as well. Once again, this promotional break is brought to you by nextlevelracing.com, and we'll be right back. As we return from our first Next Level Racing promotional break of the night, Cody Smith, one of the drivers who gains big in the Next Level Racing Chevrolet, as our second caution flies and will go green yet again. 23. Nicholas Cohan finds himself the leader with Gael Brooks in second, and then Shane Ewing there in third. It'll be Joe Dinsmore now in fourth with Matthew Thunhorst in fifth, and for the drivers who were a bit more careful early, now they find themselves up in front. Looks like patience made it much better for them. Now their strategy is beginning to play out at the quarter-way point. Big Evo Designs 200 has seen some big wrecks so far, two of which a minor checkup involving a few drivers that ended up in a spin, and the big one coming out just a few laps later, which collected some of our very early race-winning contenders. One of them who survived, Nicholas Cohan, and still has the race lead in his control. Kyle Brooks now looking to contend, Shane Ewing and Joe Dinsmore both alongside him. Now only 3 drivers are 1 lap down. Those would be Chad Mikus, Michael Stroll, and Chad Cole. So not a lot of luck for that organization there. For Domination Intimidation Racing, the 38 strong contender, Chad Mikus was 2, both of which going to be taken out, and Chad Cole caught up in the crossfire too. See how long it is until both make it out on the track, all 3 of which still have a chance to come out, but they will be at least 1 lap down. Nicholas Cohan leading them down the front stretch yet again. The iRacing official race truck backs it in once more. How about our second restart in 22, going on 23 laps. Green flag flies yet again here in the Big Evo Designs 200. We're back on our way. Mikus has that advantage as they come down to the backstretch. Cohan, of course, going to be there as well. And comes to the advantage I speak of for Mikus, he is back on the track. Get a major front end damage, but he's holding on to the pack right now. So unlike Michael Stroll and Chad Cole, he is now back on the way. Back bumper of the 22. Cohan going to be hanging on for the lead though, as the fog continues to be a minor presence. Really dissipating even still. Nicholas Cohan finds himself up in front. Now, 3 wide, going to be there in the middle with pole sitter Anthony DeBarro trying to go to make it a bit of a more aggressive pass. Third lane beginning to form. DeBarro going to go up high on DJ Stagner. Stagner going to be forced down to the middle, and it looks like DeBarro going to be hung out to dry there. The middle group has been more controlled on the higher sides. The third lane has not yet gotten on its way. Looks like that's not going to be a possibility right now either. Shane Ewing is going to try to lock it shut on the low lane. Nicholas Cohan now swaps over to the high side, and not only the middle, but the very top. 24 laps in out of 80 this time around. The Big Evo Designs 200 making it through back in the green flag swing of things. Logging laps has been something we have seen, but not as much as I would have expected. We have seen some incidents back to back. Now we're trying to get out of that fortunate circumstance, getting back on our way with some double file racing. Aggression not going to be seen all too much. The guys right now are a bit more calm and collected at the front of the pack. Air to the back. You saw it there. They were about 3 wide now, racing for 20th. That is much closer than those up in front. Travis McQuiston going to drop from the bottom and go up high. Now he'll find himself passing Thomas Bresci. Caught up in the first 2 incidents. Find themselves on the recovery path. Try to contend your current leader. Shane Ewing's going to be there, still in first. Cohan's in second. Shane takes him down the line once again with the top spot. That number 32 is in control. There's Cohan there in second, and Gael Brooks still in third. Gael's going to go up to the high side that time through, and it looks like for Brooks, B, has to hold on to. Just keeps on defending. Gael trying to get himself a first top 5 of the season very early. He's one of the guys very consistent in the top 10, top 15 range week after week. Fantastic for him to knock out top 5 early, save him some trouble in the points race. First Daytona, while not the be-all end-all race of the season, love to have a good one to keep your season on the move with the early momentum. Gael right now scored in third. Would love to stay up here. Things going. 27 laps in out of 80. No reason for him to feel he's out of place. They're very calm up in front. And even got the Nicholas Cohan's on the high side, and both of these drivers are not really in the mood to contest each other. More likely, Stay right there, side by side, and wait till the end. And the drone shot will show you the 32 down low, right there, bottom side. Nicholas Cohan's got the run yet again, and despite the fog that has been slowly clearing up, these drivers are now racing as hard as they can. Shane's going to be on the high side with Nicholas Cohan now down low. Matthew Bonors is trying to make something happen there in third. Gonna try to stick his nose a bit lower. Doesn't do all too much with it. Bonors to down as low as the mid-20s earlier in the race. Now finds himself contending for the race lead. Not bad at all for your defending regular season champion. Looking to make an impact early. A win for him would be fantastic. That was something that eluded him for the majority of the season. Got a very hot string late in the going. In places like Iowa before the clash came into fruition, was the dominant man, taking the regular season champion just barely over Thomas Bresci. Though he got that regular season title, it fell apart from there. That's the big thing he'd like to avoid, as the drivers now avoid one Alec Daffin. Daffin's at 31st right now, trying to hang on to the back of this draft. Looks like that's going to be unlikely as he stays up to the top. One driver's hooked. Is that going to be a spin? It looks to be trouble, but they save it. And it looks like Christopher Matthews will lock it down, and he's going to get tagged there. That's what nearly brings out the caution. Thankfully, guys keep going. We're going to take a look regardless to see what specific caused it there for the 92. Looking off the back bumper of Christopher Matthews right now, it looked to be a tag back of the pack. Fading there, sees Alec Daffin. Knocked down low. Trevor Traeger not expecting it, puts some contact on the quarter panel. He ends up losing all that track position and end up in 29th as a result. Bad news for the number 92. Thankfully for the majority of the field, they avoid that wreck. Still back on the way with a chance to get up there in the case of a caution. 30 laps in out of 80 so far. The Tide Ride is down low and Nicholas Cohan's up high. A great group up in front. Sun begins to shine off the corner. Down the stretch yet again, you'll see a bit more fun from the guys than anticipated. Still going to be up in front, double file, multiple lanes deep. Big Evil Designs 200 is characterized mainly by this 2x2 pack racing. Up in front, it's been mostly the same, but for good reason. Calm, collected. Guys don't want to be over their heads. So far, it looks like they've done a pretty good job of themselves all in one good run. 32 machine of Shane Ewing will lead the lap yet again. Finds himself at the top of the board once more. Very little competition actively going against him. No Dinsmore, the number 95 machine, is still running in 7th. Forrest Smith is running in 6th. And right now, the chat fan favorite is that number 84, sporting brand new colors. To be a bright yellow and a bright blue, all around a vibrant 213 skinwear machine running for Transcendent Motorsports. Got to thank the Transcendent coming out to watch their driver tonight. Doing good so far. He'll have to hold on for just over half of this race remaining. Come home, 81st career win in the Ignite Series. It's a possibility. Here are the plate races. Anything can happen. One driver going to be one lap down even further. It looks to be that time around. Michael Stroll, who's down on pit road. That Micus fades back. Dick Tarbuck down. The lap machine gets put down behind the field. Tarbuck not having a strong race. Number 29 finds himself in the 30th position. It looks like the new look for him, not bringing all too much luck so far. Hoping to turn it around for the rest of the season, but Daytona has not been his favorite place tonight. Looking up at the top of the field yet again, guys like Travis McQuistion, Casey Shue, and a big recovery run for the man in the number 40 of Sean Carmody. Was involved in that big incident on the front stretch, coming down turn 1. Everyone got shuffled around, and one of the number 4 was involved. This one, Carmody looked like it would be on the wrecker for good, but he got it repaired, got everything back in place. Now he's inside the pack, hanging on. That's exactly what you got to do in a situation like this. Keep on rolling. Guys who are ahead of you and in front of you. Shane Ewing gonna lead the way here, and you know what? How about we take a look on even further back in the field. 24 machine, Thomas Bresci, still running with the best of them. finds himself now just outside the top 10, position number 11. So let's take a look with the VR camera here on FTN. Now, on the bottom right of your screen, that is exactly what Thomas Bressi is seeing inside his cockpit. As if inside that Chevy Camaro. We've said it quite a few times. iRacing, getting VR compatibility allows for Thomas Bressi to see exactly what we are capturing here on broadcast, giving us his video feed to show you exactly what's going on in real time, navigating the corners and coming through straightaways, minimum lag, doing exactly what the drivers are doing on the main feed. Bressi right now going to be in a big pack coming up to yet another lap machine, Alec Daffin again. His job right now, hold your line, and he's going to pretty easily make it by Alec Daffin. Just like that, the 24 is through on the 48, keeps himself inside the top 10 conversation. That was a look inside the cockpit there for Thomas Bressi. We got a few more of those coming up as the race goes on. It is a fascinating perspective. Virtual reality and iRacing have been a match for quite a few years now. Ever since the technology was implemented, it has continued to be improved. iRacing now heading to its 15th anniversary this year. It has been a wild ride. Now, simulator has been around for over a decade and a half, showing its stuff better and better. September build of iRacing is one to watch. You think the fog is interesting? How about rain? Rain is finally expected to make its way onto the simulator alongside a refreshed oval model and a rehaul of the weather system entirely. It's going to be that much more enticing to watch each broadcast. You might even see rain in one of these oval races to make it even trickier to handle here and now. 36 laps out of 80 so far. Shane Ewing's had control. Looks like nobody's been trying to take it away. That's going to be Chad Cole on the top side of the track. Put down 7 laps now. Michael Stroll is down. Just retired from this event. It looks like the race is over for him. 33 cars are still going at about the halfway marker. Nicholas Cohan and Shane Ewing continue to. First pack remains the same. You'll see the second pack comes into frame after guys like Cal Pilarski and Chris DeBow. Then there's a breakaway. You see guys like Cody Smith, Alan Dobbs. They're going to be the guys who control this second pack right now, laying back, still with the draft, just barely holding on to that minor connection, just to make sure that if they need to pull themselves back up into the winning conversation whenever necessary. Dobbs going to stay there in the 22nd spot. Alan Rowell 23rd. Don Stevenson 24th. Jacob 5, 25th. Any drivers are choosing to stay behind the leaders right now, just trying to make sure their cars are saved up in the case of an incident. After what we've seen so far, even though it's only been 2 cautions, who can blame them? You don't want to end up with a front end destroyed. Damage can become major in the blink of an eye. Many drivers have looked to be contenders for the entirety of the night. Michael Stroll, Alec Daffin, Chad Micus, they've all found themselves with damage now, and even Christopher Matthews. He's in the number 92, and he's fading back big, working with a damaged machine in that number 25. Both fading back. Christopher is on the verge of being put 1 lap down. Make it around. Them now coming through in the same camera frame. They get out of the backstretch, about half the stretch behind. Another driver to put 1 lap down on the board. Shane Ewing still has that race lead. It's been double file. It's been a stalemate so far. They've had a 21 lap stint on these tires, the longest of any stint we've seen so far tonight. So the question is now, do we see green flag pit stops? Right now, it seems to be an open-ended question. Of course, you can't see guys come in right now if they wanted to. Have not seen one come in for what we're considering a competitive pit stop. Majority of the field has not had the need to come down to pit road so far. They have not. That's the reason you'll still see this double file racing. Drivers are waiting out to see if they can come down to pit road with their group, their preferred drivers, without making a mess. Aggression right now would be unwarranted. Drivers right now racing with their heads. Sure they can make it through to lap number 80. Gotta get by these first 79 laps. Want a chance to come home a winner. Shane Ewing, bottom side. Nicholas Cohan up high. And next time around, it's going to be the halfway mark hit. lap 40, slowly but surely become the second half mentality of racing we've seen largely calm so far. Might just see a bit more aggression put down as the night gets in final stages. One driver is going to be put a lap down again. That's going to be Chris Matthews. That's going to be the second lap he's put down, as it appears he went on to pit road already. Christopher Matthews, 92 machine, going to be behind even the last of those on the lead lap. Wanted goons of Trevor Trago and Carson Bechtel, both of these drivers representing their team with the same paint scheme and the same sponsor, Pony Setup Shop, the official setup shop of NASCAR. 40 laps in for these two, and they have faded back, still are in good spirits working with one another, and if there's a caution, still more than enough opportunity to make it up to the top of the board. Splitting them 3 wide for the race lead, it looks like as soon as we came to the 40 lap to go marker, we have flipped the switch. Now it's getting aggressive here in Daytona. It's going to be Shane Ewing there on the bottom side. Matthew Thunhorst is going to be on bottom 2, and Kyle Cooper is going to get loose. Do they save it? It looks like Cooper is still trying to wiggle it around. They'll keep it together, but not without a scare for the majority of the field. Thankfully, it looks like Casey Shue and Kyle Cooper keep it going. We're now going to fade back a bit further. He's going to find himself now in first. Nice save for that number 73. How's about we take a look inside the cockpit, see how it was to save it firsthand. And taking a look at the FTN instant replay for Kyle Cooper, wiggling it back and forth, getting loose a few times. Have to keep a steady wheel to keep on going. That's the difference between another yellow flag and a continuous green flag run. In all honesty, we're still within the pack, only 2 seconds away from your race leader. Now pushing harder than before to get back up there. His chances are far from over. Guys are still somewhat gray where our cameras are. The drivers are having a bit of a better look at it. When we get closer to the frame with these guys, you'll see a bit brighter than before. They're a bit clearer than before. And Nicholas Cohan, as clear as day, is now your new race leader as they'll come through turns 3 and 4 yet again. It's going to be now 38 laps to go with the 21 out in front, and Gael Brooks now on the high side. Gael trying to make something happen with 39 remaining. Take a look at that. 71 machine's going to be up top, and he's got himself a good look at the front of the field for the very first time. Gael Brooks is your new race leader. How about that for the 71? It's going to be Gael, top of the board. Nicholas Cohan, then down to the bottom side will be scored in second. Anthony DeBarro, your pole sitter, still contending for the race win. DeBarro putting together a very solid race right now. It looks like he's got a chance to go until the checkered flag falls. Fantastic for him. Not often number 27 makes it home to the end if he's got any speed. Very aggressive driver. He's been caught up in a few incidents in recent memory. Trying to put that behind him. Yet another victory. One win in his career came at Charlotte in the season finale. Shows that he's got that race-winning pace in the long-distance events. 300-mile race that we had to end most recent inaugural Integrity Night Series team battle. Right now, all drivers are battling pretty calm. 44 laps in, either all still double file. Jonathan Gearvon going to be a bit separate from Alan Dobbs and Blake Gordon, but most of these drivers think to stay in this calm pack. There's no worry of a wreck at the moment. No major changes up in the front of the field. Your leaders have largely stayed the same. 37 laps to go this time by, coming around to 36. Looks like there still is no reason to panic up ahead. Nicholas Cohan's got that advantage with Shane Ewing. Then in second, Gael Brooks will be in third. Matthew Thunhorst and in fourth. It's going to be Anthony DeBarro fifth and Travis McQuistion sixth and seventh. Joe Dinsmore is there on the high side. Come through the start-finish line yet again. It has been all about this number 21 of Nicholas Cohan. Ewing's got the lead yet again to the bottom groove, but it looks like Nicholas Cohan has been the most consistent driver no matter where you see him on the track. He can block high, block low. He can go wherever he needs to go to that lead. Looks like it worked out so far. Not an issue in mind for that number 21, as Matthew Thunhorst has a slight issue. He blinks for just a moment. Thankfully, he's still going. just fine as well. Nicholas Cohan going to be down to the bottom side and then works his way back up with 35 laps to go. Now past the halfway marker. Throughout the field, it looks like now 20 drivers, 2 seconds of your leader, the last of which is the number 18 machine, sponsored by Next Level Racing of Cody Smith. As always, Next Level Racing, a proud partner of the Integrity Racing League and the Integrity Ignite Series. Dedicated sim racers who want nothing but the best sim racing hardware. Check out nextlevelracing.com. High quality performance products since 2009. If you'd like to learn more, visit nextlevelracing.com after tonight's broadcast. Here's a bit more about some recent products they put out, including a partnership from Ferrari, cutting edge sim racing technology, a brief promotional break, courtesy of our friends from Next Level Racing. As we return from our second Next Level Racing promotional break, only 33 laps remain here at Daytona, and so far, drivers are still holding on. Double file. Shane Ewing going to be on the bottom side with Nicholas Cohan up high. They've been contending for the lead since the very beginning. This run has gone now a total of over 30 laps. 31 to be exact, and that number 21 has a bit of a shove yet again. Kyle Brooks going to be there in position number 2. Double file, almost it's going to be a clearance from Nick Cohan. He'll stay up high. It looks like the move will not work. And this is when drivers begin to consider those more aggressive maneuvers that would not be seen, say, 20, 30 laps ago. Now it's time to say, maybe push a little harder will be worth it. I understand at this rate, there's still a lot of time until it's all said and done. With 33 laps to go, we're past the halfway point. Make it 32. Gotta consider when you should go for it, when you shouldn't. Maybe now for these drivers, it's the time to make that charge in, fight what you've got, your track position, pit strategy, what have you. Have anything on the line here, might be the time to begin making those moves. Up in front, it's going to be your same 2 drivers. They have been solid as a rock so far. Forrest Smith going to be there in 7th spot. Casey Shue in 8th. Thomas Bresci now going to be able to sneak into that top 10. Don Carmody going to be in 11th with Brandon Bernhardt, then in 12th. And Chris Goubeau is going to be in 13th. Justin Morton 14th with Brian McFerrin rounding out your top 15. So far, most drivers seem to be holding on solidly. Very few have major damages. One is going to be Nick Tarbuck yet again, multiple laps down. Alec Daffin is 15 laps down as we speak. Chad Cole, 7 laps down. Nick Tarbuck, 3 laps down. Chad Mikas, 2 laps down. Chris Matthews, only 1 lap down. Been running with Carson Bakewell and Trevor Trago, and despite it being a small group, they've been quick enough to hold on to the lead lap for now. Should be fine from here on out. 31 laps to go. This has been a 34-lap stint. We are expecting our next pit stop to be the last. So the money stop is whatever is next for the drivers. They'll have to come into pit road eventually to make things happen. Strategy is going to become that much more serious. Fog, it's becoming even less visible as we speak. What looked to be stormy skies before have become cleaner and cleaner. Drivers getting a bit more of a vibrant pop on their colors. And see Nick Cohan, living color at number 21. Absolutely controlling the field. Shane Ewing's had dominance on that bottom side. Both of these guys stand in a good position. Hold on for the race win. And I'll tell you this much, with a Big Evo Designs 200 still going strong, it'll be these two take home the checkered flag. Either or, they've been that good so far. The class of the field, both of them, maybe it'll be either of which, or could be someone further on back. say Gael Brooks, say Matthew Thunhorst. I mean, those two, it would be a tremendous victory. It would be a rebound victory for Thunhorst, and it would be a fantastic, stunning victory for Gael Brooks. Even Anthony DeBarro winning from the pole. What about the guys like Travis McQuistion, Casey Shue? We don't talk about them all too often, and now they're here up in the front of the field, racing good as it gets. Right now, they seem to have a good idea in mind on how they'll execute the rest of this race. Ewing for sure has a good idea too. That number 32 machine takes the lead by a car length that time around. He has the advantage. Gonna try to hold it. Big Kohan, who's no so dominant, might have just not gotten the best push from Gael Brooks. Side drafting have kept these guys quite honest all throughout the race, and that's been the notable factor that changed how these guys have performed and interacted with one another. The draft is substantial. You cannot handle the draft, if you cannot manage the draft, you'll eventually fade back or be involved in an incident. The draft is about the most important tool a driver has at Daytona. The aerodynamic properties of these cars, if they are messed up, you'll be in a situation like those who are laps down or retired. Alec Daffy, 17 laps down, he just retired. The race is over for him because there's no choice but to park it very early. Get that damage, you're going to be in a big load of trouble. If you can keep yourself out of trouble, run with the pack, got an immediately much better shot to take home the win. Last lap wrecks, Daytona, they're synonymous with each other. If something happens very late in the going, you've got a chance to break through and surprise the field, taking home that top spot along the way. Now it looks like the inside line is crumbling just a bit. Nicholas Kohan's got the shot to come down low. Does he choose to? Yes, and he'll bring Gael Brooks with them. Just like that, both drivers go for the pass. They'll take it down to the bottom side. Like that, both work with one another. One driver who's going to be disadvantaged by that maneuver, though, is Anthony DeBarro. For Anthony, he's going to lose a lot of help there on the outside line, which makes it a lot harder for him to keep on going. Won't be happy about that one, and the relationship factor in terms of driving, that is substantial too. Gotta make connections when you can. Have friends on the track, that much better than being alone. Right now for Anthony DeBarro, it looks like he lost a few friends there. Might have to work with Forrest Smith a bit more as they're going to try to charge down the backstretch to take the lead away. It's a two-car effort against the big inside line. Looks like for now, one driver going to be in trouble, Gael Brooks. Does Brooks save it? It looks like he will. Will Joe Dinsmore save it? Will Justin Morton save it? It's another checkup leading to a wreck. And the caution's out yet again. And it looked like another wreck could have been avoided. But that time by, the checkups got too extreme. Caution will fly once more. Justin Morton going to be involved in this one. We're going to take it back at half speed. Find out what caused it. Watch it from behind the nine. It looks like Gael Brooks is going to check up there. Then you'll see Matthew Thunhorst go up to the top of the board. Then Joe Dinsmore check up. Morton, he has no choice to make contact with Blake Gordon. Then immediately spin. Going to get caught sideways there. That's what brings out the caution. And it looks like he's going to run out of room. Run out of luck. Justin Morton's going to get caught up in it by himself. Now, without a front bumper, that's detrimental to his race. Might just change the way he drives the rest of this one substantially. It's now Nicholas Kohan up in front. Number 21 machine has that race with Anthony DeBarro there in second. Forrest Smith third and Shane Ewing in fourth. Could be heading back green with at most 23 laps remaining. Time running out. Looks like now pit road going to be active, but could be the final time. And now Ewing going to take him through on that inside groove. Anthony DeBarro there as well. Forrest Smith going to be in third with Shane Ewing in fourth. Pit road going to be back on the move yet again. 21 going to be down to the low side. He makes it through. DeBarro's got that pole position stall. He'll have to wait a while. Watch the pit exit camera as things get ready. Of course, the money stop. Here and now. Pit exit here could determine who ends up the race winner. And already, it looks like Nicholas Kohan going to be beaten by Anthony DeBarro. DeBarro's out before Kohan, and then Shane Ewing's third. Following them, it will be Cal Filarski. Then it's going to be Travis McQuistion, Matthew Thunworth, Chris Gabot, Brandon Bernhardt, Gael Brooks, and Jonathan Girvon to round out the top 10. Joe Dinsmore, Thomas Bressy, Casey Shue, 12th, 13th is Shue, Carmody's 14th, and Brian McFerrin rounds out the top 15 off pit road. Anthony DeBarro able to slide back up to the top spot. Now your new race leader, quickest time on pit road, 27.1 seconds. That is a marker that's ahead of Nicholas Cohan by just over a second. So DeBarro spent more time in his pit box, so he clearly had the plan going in. It's going to pay off. That's exactly Anthony DeBarro needs. How about that for the man in the number 27? Huge pit stop. His expertise in and off a pit road gives him the race lead immediately after the pit cycle has concluded. Sunny skies in Daytona. You can see the clouds yet again as clear as ever through the corners. And now through the front stretch, the sun is peeking out. You could see the race continue to get brighter and brighter. Now this, Barrow, Cohan, Shane Ewing fighting as Chad Cole comes down to pit road. Get things settled in yet again. Other drivers will come down to pit road too. You'll see Jonathan Girvon make it through. But most will their track position as now only one lap to green, 23 laps remain. 23 laps left. It is all up to Anthony DeBarro after a huge fall. The number 27 machine finds himself at the top of the board with Nicholas Cohan. Then in second, Shane Ewing's going to be there with Travis McQuistion. And for both of these drivers, it is a big chance to come home on top, get the win out of the way, and not have to worry as much about the races preceding the clash. Daytona could set apart the winners from the losers, the haves from the have-nots. Get it done tonight. Season going to be off. Right start. Everyone chasing it down. Such little time remaining. Aggression going to be a bit more prevalent. He who makes those risky moves and who decides to lay back and let it all crumble. Now coming down the backstretch with 22 laps to go next time by. We're going to crank it up courtesy of the best cameras on the iRacing platform. As always, track cams for tournaments, trackcams22.com, providing high-quality iRacing cameras for over 100 cars and tracks on the iRacing platform. Visit trackcams22.com or their Facebook page today. The website is in the description if you want to check out all of their packages as seen on FTN. They're the best place for all camera-related services. 23 laps remain, this time by the final countdown after the money stop here at Daytona. DeBarro first, Nicholas Cohan in second, and Shane Ewing in third as we come around for what is only going to be our third restart of the night. Let's crank it up with the best cameras on the iRacing platform, uninterrupted. DeBarro gonna lead him as the pace car dives in. Let's crank it up with 22 laps to go. Green flags back underway, courtesy of TrackCams22.com. And now with only 18 laps remaining, it is still Nicholas Cohan out in front, but Travis McQuiston is now the man in second. And take a look on back. Anthony DeBarro is still in the frame. Shane Ewing is there as well. Chris DeBow, Matthew Thunhorst, and Thomas Bressi are all there too. And with time running out, we've taken our Crank It Up. Now let's take a special look again at our battle camera for tonight's presentation. On board with Thomas Bressi's VR camera, and he sees 3 wide in front of him. That's a tricky position to be in for any driver. Got this view, it's even trickier. Back of the first, get a good shuffle to stay green and stay safe. We're still driving right now. We'll keep the bottom right, showing you that VR perspective. Look to the number 40 machine, John Carmody, a bit loose. He saves it. He's now fighting with Jacob Fife as they door bang just a bit. Coming across the front straight away. Thomas Bressi now finds himself in 7th. There's a huge wreck. DeBow's up in the wall. Caution flies. It's a huge incident. And the number 5 immediately disconnects. Chris DeBow goes up and over. Nearly goes on top of the catch fence. And that's going to end his race in an instant. Let's take a look at what happened here. Looks like Bressi was right behind where the incident occurred. You're going to be able to see this one in a different angle. DeBow makes contact with DeBarro, McQuiston. Then it looks like he comes up into Shane Ewing. Then, destroyed. Alan Dobbs sends him flying. He gets hit by Stagner, Jacob Fife. All of the drivers who come through, no choice. You can't stop. The momentum's there. Cal Filarski gets a hit of it. Looks like Casey too. And it's another huge wreck. Number 5 of Chris DeBow goes up to the top of the catch fence and does not come back down. Disconnected immediately. That's his race. 1 lap down as we speak. And with 16 laps to go, another driver, another destruction. Alan Dobbs has no front end. Jacob Fife was able to get out of it quite lucky. John Carmody, looking at his number 40, has no damage either, just barely able to squeak away. Some of your leaders look to be in trouble as well. Let's take it back to the live feed right now and see what's going on in specific. Daytona, still packed. Fans just witnessed a brutal wreck here on iRacing. Travis McQuiston leads the way. Looks like he has some minor right side damage. Look at the 93 machine from our drone camera here, right behind the pace car. It shows you he got a bit on that right side. Might be detrimental. That is aerodynamic damage. Might impact the engine too. So right on board with Travis. See what he's revving at. Still over 2,000. puts it into idle, we should be able to see whether or not he's got enough revs in the engine. Idle on these Xfinity Series machines is 2,000 revs a minute. Anything under, he does have engine damage. That would take an awful lot of time to repair. Gonna try to tough it out. What he's got so far, 66 laps in, you don't want to sacrifice track position. Many drivers did come down to pit road though, and it looks like Rob Ackley, one of the many. Let's take a look at the new race off pit road. Second wave coming in yet again. Looks like off of pit road this time around, Carson Bakto is going to be able to lead. Shortly thereafter, he's followed by Rob Ackley. Looks like Jonathan Gierbaum gets the better of him first. Then you'll see Alan Rowell coming out. Casey Shue, Ackley finally makes the move, and Christopher Matthews follows them as well. Now further drivers such as Forrest Smith, John Stevenson, Cody Smith, all coming through at the same time. Just like that, second wave on a pit road, come back out yet again. 15 laps to go here in Daytona. The Big Evil Designs 200, what was a clean race for the most part, has now devolved into some form of chaos. Travis McQuistion able to take advantage of any other driver. Number 93 now finds himself at the top of the board. Got Nicholas Cohan behind him. It has been troublesome for drivers to keep consistent. Travis having no issue. Looking further back, Anthony DeBarro, despite nearly getting caught up in that incident as well, still going to be up there. Joe Dinsmore is in fourth, Thomas Pressy's fifth, Matthew Thunhorst is sixth, and Bernhardt is seventh. Carson Bakto is going to be eighth right now with Trevor Trago ninth and Jonathan Gierbaum. Final man inside the top 10, 33 machine for Pepsi still there. Come around the Geico restart zone. Next time by will go green. Only 13 laps remaining. Travis first, Nicholas second. They're ready to do battle yet again. Come around the front stretch one more time under caution. What has been a fantastic race so far, now seeing a few wrecks in succession. Strategy calls have been made. Some drivers have taken their final pit stop already. Others going back in yet again. They want to play it safe and make sure they've got enough to go, even if there is an overtime finish. We do have overtime attempts in this series, up to 3 if necessary. At fine, we could see more racing past the 80-lap marker if these drivers are not able to keep up what they have so far. Let's see anything to really worry about right now, but in the case we go past lap 80 marker, we have up to 3 attempts to finish the race on green. 67 laps in, this is going to be your 5th caution of the night. Christian leads the way after an incident involving Bo, Jacob Fife, among others, saw for himself getting some damage. Now as the leaders come around yet again, front stretch going to be active with the roar of stock cars once more. Drivers now all about power. The aggression's going to have to be up for most guys. Wasting time, you can't do it anymore. Come home with the trophy. Go down swinging. That's the mentality for most drivers here at Daytona. We'll see if these guys are a bit more back. If not, will we see patience any further? More aggression? Let's find out. Coming through. This time by, down to the pace car, it's going to be Travis McQuistion leading the way. 5th restart with only 13 laps to go. '93 machines got that race lead coming down the backstretch. 68 laps in out of 80. Now, double file racing, and it is stacked up. Nobody wants to leave this main group any longer. Can't risk getting off of the pedal. Because if you lose the draft, you've all but lost the race. Now McQuistion's got that race lead, and you can see on the defense. Take a look on back. You got Anthony DeBarro and both Supras. Go on the second of which, facing that top spot down at the line. It looks like Travis lap to be able to take it through yet again. Number 93 machine, 69 laps in, having a nice run so far, but we'll see if he's going to be able to seal the deal. Got it up in front. So does Nicholas Cohan. Anthony DeBarro there too. Go Dickmore. In play. All fighting for that race win. Can any of them break through the gridlock? That remains to be seen. Still double file. Gearbon looks high. He's going to go right back down low. Not going to risk what he does not want to lose. Keep it there as Nicholas Cohan's going to nearly spin, and they will. Bressy's going to go around, the caution will fly. Another yellow flag, and we are back under pacing. One driver up and over. Christopher Matthews gets through. Rob Ackley does not, and the heart of this one, Thomas Bressy, ends up backwards. And just like that, the 24-strong run is all but over as the front of the field comes apart on this wreck. Take a look. Cohan going to get contact from Joe Dinsmore. And going to get involved with Thomas Bressy as Dinsmore ends up high. 24 machine got caught up too. Bressy going to lose on many spots on this one as Jonathan Gearwad comes around. Rob Ackley barely able to avoid most of the hit, but he still gets there. Kyle Cooper getting hit. Cody Smith square into the side panel and taps Nick Tarbuck. And that is a nasty wreck involving multiple contenders again. And just like that, we are under pacing once more. And now with 11 laps to go, the caution flies yet again. It's going to be first of now Travis McQuistion. Then you'll look on Anthony DeBarro second with Brandon Bernhardt in third. Trevor Trago now is in the fourth. Matthew Thunhorse is going to be fifth, and Carson Bagel is going to be sixth with Casey Shue seventh and Alan Rawell now getting up to seventh, up to go down to eighth. Where Smith is now scored ninth with Rob Ackley. And Matthews is going to be right there with them as they go side by side for the spot. Pit road is active yet again. Now McQuistion, one of the very few, it off. And just like that, pit road going to be active once more. Drivers coming through this time around. You'll see the exits. Now Brian McFerrin going to be on his way through the machine right there in frame. It exits going as follows. Nobody's came out so far, but we'll keep you updated the moment they do. First man out appears to be Sean Carmody. After this incident, 10 laps to go, he is on his way. One of the many drivers now down on pit road for Next Level Racing. Yet again, is Cody Smith and the number 18. Number 18 looks to get it done for one of the primary partners of the Integrity Racing League. High quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers who want nothing but the best. NextLevelRacing.com for more information. Rating these products since 2009, they're the preferred place to go for all your sim racing needs. Hope you enjoy their products and check them out at NextLevelRacing.com after tonight's broadcast. We'll be right back after our final promotional message, courtesy of Next Level Racing. Under caution with 10 laps to go here in the Integrity Racing League, we just counted one more down. Make it 9 laps left. And after a series of successive cautions, the Ignite Series is back in action, and one lap until the green flag flies once more. This will be the 6th restart of the race. Travis McQuistion finds himself on the inside line there in first. Got Anthony Navarro still to the high side on him, and Brandon Bernhardt has been able to make it up through the field. Now finds himself inside the 3rd position. It's Trevor Trago in 4th, and Matthew Thunhorst then in 5th. Alan Rowell, position number 6, and 7th being occupied by Casey Shue. Come down the stretch. Ace Truck leads them. This could be the final time that is the case. And for Travis McQuistion, the last few laps have been that of a dream. He looks to be the odds-on man to get it done. Odds can flip at any moment. 8 green flag left lap at the very most. 8 laps left. Before the checkered flag falls, still could be another driver comes home on the top step of the podium. That will be seen as we go through turns 3 and 4. Drivers have one final chance to prepare what's next. Then they're on their own. This time through, it's going to be 8 laps to go with restart number 6 in mind. Travis McQuistion's the man on top, and he'd like to keep it that way. Let's go this time around. Make it 8 laps left. Grade 8. Let's see who's got it in store as McQuistion leads us through. It's restart number 6 with less than 10 laps remaining. And for those tuning in following the 4-0 Truck Series race, the great to have you here on FTN. A fantastic show in the Windy City 150. And now on to our next presentation. This has been a fantastic race at Daytona all night long. And now that things are coming down to the final stretch, there are a few drivers who are surely in contention to get it done. One of which going to be Anthony Navarro there on the inside line. He's been the pole sitter. He's been one of the guys in the most laps. And now, with time running out, he might just be the man to get it done at the top of the board. Got himself the race lead right now as he gets pushed out of the stripe. Make it 7 laps remaining. Navarro's going to be out in front with Travis McQuistion there in 2nd. Brandon Bernhardt's going to be in 3rd with Trevor Trago, then in 4th. Going to be up to the high side. Trago going to block Alan Rowell as the outside does not have enough momentum to keep up with your leaders. Anthony Navarro going to be there on the inside. Travis McQuistion going to be there as well. It's a 3-car breakaway, beginning to move out of the sight of those in the main pack. Matthew Thunhorst does not have a back bumper, but he is still up in the front of the field. Take a look on board with Casey Shue. It's telling, and too much with that number 8. Casey Shue in a situation like this, you just have to wait it out. Thunhorst surely feels there's still an opportunity to come home with the win. He hasn't backed out for that exact reason, so he does have a chance. That much harder to work with him because the front bumper, it's there, but the back bumper, not quite. He's just holding on with a very little draft he can muster. Maybe Casey Shue holding on in 5th too, looking for some clean air. Look on the rear view camera. Looking for a chance to go down, or maybe to the apron to make a risky pass. A safer way, like to go up to the high side. He bobbles on the apron for just a moment. That's not going to be for long. Now it's Casey Shue trying to block both lanes as your 3 drivers make it 4 ahead of him. Continue to lead the way. Anthony Navarro taking it down to the start-finish line yet again, finds himself up in front with only 5 laps remaining in this race. First of the season, it is the best place to get the win. After winning our most recent race at Charlotte, how nice it would be to go back-to-back in 2 different seasons. Maybe has a chance to get that done now as he goes up to the high side, and Travis McQuistion now lies down low. And for Travis McQuistion, he has been up front ever since the big one around lap 20. He's been able to hold on to the momentum he found himself inheriting, able to keep himself now in the winning race. that point onward. It's now going to be the 93 machine down low with the advantage. There's going to be one turning and a big spin. Overtime finish guaranteed. Casey Shu's going to be around. Justin Morton wrecks. It looks like DeBarro might have been caught up in it, and the leader's going to be involved. You can see Gael Brooks, and just like that, the caution will fly. Got ourselves 7th yellow. This will send us in to an overtime finish. Where do we begin with this one? Wreck, I'm going to say Christopher Matthews. He was up in the front of the field until that point. Now let's take it back. By that point, he's already going to be spinning. Take a look yet again. Christopher Matthews in the number 92 having a successful run on debut. It looks like it might be all for naught. And for Matthews, Alan Rawwell going to be tapped by Alan Dobbs, then hitting Casey. That's going to take out several drivers immediately. Robinson hits the wall. It's a hit for him. Going to get back off it as Chad Cole looks to go down. Kyle Cooper there as well. As we mentioned, Justin Morton, one of the guys who gets the worst of it, definitely a Casey Shu. He's going to lose his back bumper. Not lose a lot in terms of timing and scoring. He still is scored in 6th right now, hanging on despite what just happened. Looks like he's not going to give in, as Christopher Matthews still on the track as well. Travis McQuistion, 4 laps to go. He leads the way. Anthony DeBarro there in 2nd with Brandon Bernhardt there in 3rd, and Trevor Drago lies back there in 4th. 3 laps to go. This time by, and we have now hit our overtime procedure for the night. Next lap is expected to be the final lap of caution, pacing all night long, and then we'll get into our overtime attempt, first of which out of 3. So let's run down how this system works so we make sure everyone's up to speed. Go just like this. Have a caution. White flag flies. The race will be extended for up to 3 attempts. This is the first, so we can do it 2 more times. After that point, the race will be official no matter what, and if a caution flies on that 3rd try. But in the instance that we get it done during our 1st and 2nd attempts, or we don't need to use a caution in our 3rd, when the white flag flies, the race is official, checkers or wreckers. Final lap cannot be reversed. That will mean whoever's leading at the start-finish line on the final lap, be it under caution or during racing, that is your race winner. Now the stakes are already put down on the table. Travis McQuistion, he knows them well, looking to capitalize on the hard-been belt. Number 93 machine has been solid all night long, and now, with even fewer drivers competing for the race win, there's a chance he can pull away and maybe come home with the race win even easier. He got that track position, had help all around throughout the night. There are drivers who are getting even more aggressive, looking to take those slots. Say, for instance, Trevor Drago, now in 4th, he was in the back part of the field almost all night long, and suddenly finds himself inside the battle for the race lead. In addition, you got guys like Bernhardt, who have not been aggressive all night long either. They are a bit of a wild card, guys who have not had that experience up front. Will Bernhardt make a risky move? Someone else trying to take it 3 wide or even 4 wide? Will they remain calm until the final stretch? That remains to be seen. 3 laps to go, this time buying our first overtime attempt. Here in the Integrity Ignite Series, the Big Eagle Designs 200 comes down to this, as Travis McQuistion finds himself up front. '93 machine finds himself up the front of the field. This could be first year victory. Just like that, only 2 laps remain that would separate him from the checkered flag. There's still many drivers who are feisty looking for the win. You got guys who are still competing like Bressie, like Kyle Cooper, Jacob Fife, Alan Dobbs, Casey Shue, Jonathan Giovanni, even those in the back of the field, say for instance Christopher Matthews, Al Filarski, Don Stevenson, Joe Dinsmore, and Sean Carmody. They might be in the back of the field for now, but it still could happen. Fall in their favor. We come through this time by. The race will be extended by only one lap. It's going to be lap 81, the new finishing lap for the race. Travis McQuistion and Anthony DeBarro there in second. Caution will not end it unless it is during the white flag. White flag is official. No matter what, stakes are as high as they can get. As they come through this time around, it's going to be the 93 McQuistion. There in first, Anthony DeBarro there in second. Let's get to it this time by the pace car, the pace truck. It fades in a pit road one more time, and Travis McQuistion will lead the way with 2 laps to go, and they're already shuffled. 3 wide with Brandon Bernhardt as DeBarro goes up to the top side. It's a risky maneuver already, and they're already shuffling indeed. One driver gonna spin. That's gonna take us again now to another overtime finish. Just like that, another incident, and we stay under caution. Let's take a look at just why that happened. As we head from our first overtime attempt immediately now to our second. You'll see them stack up there in the middle of the field. Looks like it's Chad Mikus who makes contact with Rob Ackley. Ackley's going to turn Mikus, and that's going to send them both around spinning. And then Carson Baketo's going to be involved. Don Stevenson barely steers clear, and the caution flies as soon as the green flag gets going. How about that? Already back under pacing. See whether or not this will be a shortened lap. Comes back up to the iRacing official pace car. It's still not with this group just yet, and tend to skip momentarily as they come across the final corner in what could have been the penultimate lap. Caution flies, however, before we get past the front straightaway. Now more drivers going to be out of winning contention. Brandon Bernhardt makes the big move, which puts him up into the top spot. Anthony DeBarro goes high to try to jump on the number 93 of Travis McQuistion. That gets him up into second. Drivers are already making big moves to get what they can. Now it's Bernhardt running to get to the pace car, as it looks like there's a bit of a conundrum here. Nobody seems to know exactly where it is. Now Brandon Bernhardt going to take to the entirety of the track. The rest of the field now following him at full pace. Chase down the pace car here. Pace laps are winding down. Race is still being extended. This is your second overtime attempt. You have now only one more remaining after this one. Gotta be perfect from here on out. You don't want to end this race under yellow. Third restart would be a risky one, because at that rate, you might just the race end under caution. That can be avoided. It would be fantastic. I'm sure all drivers want an opportunity to come home with the win under green. And now they've found it. Pace truck's been located, and the field is coming back up. Nobody gonna come down to pit road if they're up in the top of the board here. All remains the same up front. Bernhardt, your race leader. Then from there, you're going to Travis McQuistion coming with Anthony DeBarro. And Forrest Smith to be in fourth. Matthew Thunhorst rounding out your top 5. Top 5 come through. The rest of the field due to catch up. The Big Evo Designs 200 heading to its second overtime attempt for the finish out of 3. Going to be the 8th caution of the day, bringing us back into the restart territory with 2 laps to green, time running out. And every driver certainly knows that, but it depends on how they're going to react to it. Everyone got a bit riskier than we'd expect on that restart there. Looks like that might be the trend the rest of this race. A bit riskier racing than usual. Drivers are getting reacclimated to the field, and we have seen some moves gone wrong, namely one that caused our most recent yellow. And coming around this time by, the field is still single file, but they intend to change that as they come through yet again. The Geico restart zone going to be used for the second time under overtime considerations, of course, considering these drivers have been going at it quite some time. Maybe they're tired. Maybe they're going to get a bit more restless. The conditions are, though, not have a yellow flag after the white flag, of course. Of course, the race is official. It's going to be yellow flag before the white flag that extends this race. Green, white, checkered. White flag would send us to checkers or wreckers. Right now, one lap would separate these guys from the finish. Another caution. Double file. This time around, the fog is all but cleared from Daytona. The visibility much better for these drivers. Looking on board with Brandon Bernhardt right now, it is a high-stakes situation. Perhaps the highest he's been in all of his career here in the Integrity Racing League. He's an opener, a ticket to the Clash, and of course a win overall. All on the line. Here am now, but he's got a lot of drivers to defend. Of course, now for Smith there, the 84 has made it up, and from the back of the field to the front, most of the drivers inside the top four have had that experience. The only one who's done it a bit different, pole sitter, omnipresent leader, Anthony DeBarro. As they come through, this time around, Bernhardt going to be there in first. Second place going to be occupied by Anthony DeBarro. And third man is still Travis McQuistion. iRacing official pace car intends to go down a pit road this time by, and it may never come back. Pace truck is in. Here we go again. It's going to be your second overtime attempt here at Daytona. Green flags out again. And now with the green on its way, it was a much more organized run off of the start-finish line. And it filed out there. That's going to send him to the back of the field as their double file way on back. Front of the field continues to stay the same. Top five guys are going to be racing a bit riskier now, though. DeBarro blocking big as Travis McQuistion gets to the bottom. And now through 3 and 4, he's got the edge as he tries to take him down to the white flag. 3 wide way back, but the top of the field seems to be single file, double file at most. Now Filarski keeps it 3, but it will not stop the tracks, of course. Final lap. 1 lap to go, and the Big Evil Designs 200 and Travis McQuistion leads the way. One driver going to spin to the back. They're already wrecking Rob Ackley. No chance to defend his Daytona crown. He'll go spinning. No will. Alongside him, Trevor Trago losing an awful lot of time. Christopher Matthews fading back 2. And now the race for the lead is all that's left. 93 out in front. McQuistion's going to get a shove from Forrest Smith here. And now they're working bumper to bumper. Single file. From the perspective of the rear view for Travis McQuistion, he's got the field right behind. One driver wiggles. That's going to be Brandon Bernhardt. He is slipping back and back big. And the final opportunity is here and now. But it looks like no driver can get by the number 93. Travis McQuistion gets his very first Integrity Ignite Series win. Light the fuse for the number 93. He's a first-time winner. And he earned that one all the way. Welcome to Victory Lane. Travis McQuistion has made it. And Travis taking it down the stretch here at Daytona wins his very first career race, the Integrity Ignite Series. And getting it done at Daytona, he placed the perfect block. He had a fantastic strategy. And all the elements combined him to come home as a race winner. Travis McQuistion getting it done, winning over Anthony DeBarro with Forrest Smith then third, Alan Dobbs in fourth. Matthew Hornhorse comes home in fifth with Cody Smith then in sixth, Don Stevenson comes home 7th with Thomas Bresci, then in 8th. It's Jonathan Gierbaum 9th with Shane Ewing 10th. And from there, Cal Filarski comes home 11th with Carson Bechtel, then in 12th. Kyle Brooks is 13th with Kyle Cooper 14th. And Brandon Bernhardt's 15th with Sean Carmody in 16th. Jacob Fife finishes 17th with Chad Mikas 18th. Brian McFerrin's 19th. Casey Shue finishes 20th. Then going to be Joe Dinsmore in 21st with Christopher Matthews in 22nd. And Rob Ackley's the final man on the lead lap, finishing 23rd. Justin Morton comes home 24th with Nick Tarbuck 25th and Trevor Tragos 26th. TJ Stagner's 27th with Chad Cole 28th. It's Alan Rawell 29th and Nicholas Cohan then in 30th as Chris Cabot comes home in 31st. Blake Gordon's in 32nd. Alec Daffin 33rd. Michael Stroll 34th. And Adam Wood 35th. Last to round out the field. And your new race winner comes around after overtime attempts to celebrate for the very first time. Now going back to the front stretch, taking a loop out of pit road, reflecting on the race, soaking it all in. Travis McQuistion, a fantastic way to come home on top. First career win, had it all locked down. Where else but the world center of racing? Shades of Dale Earnhardt, take to the grass to burn it down. Travis McQuistion celebrates his win here at Daytona. How about that for the number 93 first career win? Season opener. It all combines for the 93 machine as we will return with their top 3 interviews momentarily. Take a look at our final promotional break courtesy of our friends at iRacing. Right back with your top 3 interviews. Be right back. Hope you stick around as we will take just a moment to organize your top 3.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And after a fantastic first win, your top 3 interviews are underway. And for the very first time, coming home on top in the Ignite Series, Travis McQuistion in the number 93 takes home the checkered flag, gets it done. Perfect defense on our second overtime attempt. New race winner, how do you feel getting it done in the Big Evo Designs 200?
It feels great. I wasn't sure it was actually going to pan out that way when I dropped back on that the first overtime restart, but no, just had to run some defense there at the end, and it feels great.
And able to get it done on top here, playing the strategy just right. And on our end, we saw it as the momentum you picked up from that first big one that you avoided carried you to the end of this race. So how was it from that first wreck, gaining all these positions? What took you from that point onward?
really, I believe I actually started last in the race. Was having some computer difficulties, but anyway, we just kind of pushed forward. I just wanted to be up closer. Yeah, the big wreck cleared out a lot of front contenders, so I just kind of like, okay, just gonna take it easy. I got involved in a wreck, and I quickly picked my way through the field. So I was like, okay, I guess we still got some power here, and just kept trying to chip away at it. I knew that Dizzy was going to be a hard team to beat between DeBarro and Cohan, and I knew that they were going to try to keep those two lanes under their control. And so once they ran into some issues, I knew that we had an opportunity then.
And taking the opportunity when it came and able to handle even the overtime attempts there. You said your first one was shaky, but you were able to recover on the last one. How did you approach the second one differently? Ended up getting you that win.
Well, honestly, I felt kind of slighted from the first one because we had a little bit of contact there, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna push DeBarro out as far as I can, and if I can get him out far enough, I'll dump him, like not dump him, like wreck him, but like move to the inside, and that's what happened, and it worked out well. The inside lane had a run at that point and was able to push me out, and then it was just driving in the mirror.
And taking home the checkered flag with that defense, driving it in the mirror. Looks like this one already in the rear view. First career win, walk into the clash, and the rest of the season still right ahead of you. How's it going to be preparing for the rest of the season already here?
Oh, I haven't even thought about that far ahead. No, I'm just hoping that we can kind of keep some momentum. I know a lot of the other guys here are really good drivers, and our best chance of winning are the plate tracks and stuff. So, got to take advantage of those opportunities that we have. But we get to the intermediates and the short tracks and stuff, he'll just kind of see where we land. I don't know how competitive we'll be, but we're going to keep trying, and we'll try to get this motorsport schedule forward and keep it up front.
And keeping it up front, the goal after getting it up front here. First time winner, winning the season open here in the Integrity Ignite Series. The Big Evo Designs 200 is yours tonight. Travis, any final thoughts to wrap off the interview?
Check out Motorsport Schedule. What they do is they put together schedules on Instagram, so you guys can watch, racing with the time associated and the channel. So it saves you some searching. Want to thank Lucis Fast Podcast. They're on Spotify. Big supporters of ours here at PMS. I also want to thank Route 66 Paint and Wallpaper. Great guy there. He's helping us out too. So if you're in the Arizona area and need something painted, there you go. I'm really grateful for the teammates that helped me out tonight, and just really, it was fun. It was nice and fun, and hopefully we can carry the momentum into next week.
It's a fantastic way to start the season for Travis McCuistion. His Ford Mustang comes home on top. First race of the season. Getting it done at Daytona. Thank you for your Just like that, your race winner going to be on the way. The number 93 gets it done. Not too far behind him at the end of this race, Anthony DeBarro, after winning our final race last season, comes home second tonight. Keep the hot streak up. Podium finish. How are you feeling after this one?
Well, I avoided the melee, and I think I was a part of some of them. I mean, sorry to Travis there on that restart. I think I came down and caused that deal, so if anyone got any damage in that, I think it was the first green white checkered. These things are just luck of the draw. I mean, you saw it there at the end there. I mean, if you could see through the fog with the broadcast, but you saw it there at the end. It was, there wasn't any clean cars left, so it was tough to see who had enough speed to be able to push you. And there was a block I could have thrown coming to get the white and at 3, and I just... having that incident with Travis, I figured he would try to just push me down the corner, and then I figured we'd wreck anyway. So I just decided to stay up. And in hindsight, I probably should have went down, but I'm glad he was able to get the win after that incident we had.
And on your end, still able to hold on as well here. It looks like from the start of the race, of course, grabbing that pole position, solidly up in front all night long. So how was it approaching the race from the front of the field, that track position?
Well, I think on the second lap there, I got pushed down into the apron, and I hit the brakes because I didn't want to cause a big wreck to start the race. So I lost the draft, and then I think the caution came out before I got a lap down, and then I drove back to the pack got up to the front, and I think we got lucky that we stayed in front of most of it. I mean, there was I was in one of the wrecks, and I got sideways, and I was able to save the car, so we just got lucky. I mean, that's this racing is I would say 90% luck. So, I mean, we got lucky to come out here with good points, some stage points, and we go to one of my favorite tracks in Watkins Glen, and we'll see what we could do there.
As you mentioned, Watkins Glen right up next on the schedule here, next Monday night. How do you feel you'll do there?
Well, I have about almost 20 hours of real life experience there. I mean, I don't put as much sim time as I used to, like with practice and stuff. So I'll probably maybe be top 5. Some of these guys, Bressy's really good on road courses, so we'll see what we could do. I mean, if I have some time, maybe I'll hop in and do a couple laps so I could get acclimated. But I love the place. It's really fun attacking the bus stop, and it's just a really high speed, and the tires seem to really fall off there, and it's just a blast to run a stock car around them.
Hopes are high to keep the momentum up for Anthony DeBarro, second place tonight, to keep the momentum rolling indeed from last season. Anthony, any final thoughts to wrap off this interview?
Yeah, and thank you guys at FTN and all the guys at Dizzy. It was fun hanging out with Chad and Chris tonight, and we were just just having fun, and that's what we're all here to do, is have fun and make some friends and shoot some shit and have some laughs. So.
There we have it. Anthony DeBarro able to shoot his number 27 machine up to the top of the charts. Full position, second place finish. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Have it. DeBarro going to be on his way, second place driver with Forrest Smith in the number 84 machine. Final driver on the podium. As it stands, we're going to get a word with our third place driver, Forrest Smith. Number 84 comes home with a podium finish. Third place on the day. Great way to start the season. How do you feel after this race from Daytona?
I feel pretty good after this race. Wasn't expecting to run top 3, top 5, but we were up towards the front of the pack from about lap 20 on, except for the last pit stop. Had a pit and decided to stay a little bit longer.
It looks like you're the first driver who has a 19-lap pit stop stint compared to those ahead of you, so you did go for a shorter run later in the race, and still able to pay off there. How did you manage that compared to those a bit longer up in front?
Just got in the right places at the right time when the wrecks happened and avoided everything. As Anthony said, it's all about luck, and luck was on my side.
Luck being on your side helps you pull through for a third place finish. Now, Watkins Glen up next. A good point tonight here. How do you think you'll be able to perform in upstate New York?
I feel good about Watkins Glen. It's one of my favorite road courses. It's or one of my favorite tracks in the game, so I feel pretty good about it. But after that, that's when the real season, I feel like, starts, and hopefully I'm better than I was in the last season.
Looking to bring on some improvements in the number 84 camp. Forrest Smith kicks it off in a very good way. Third place here. Start off the season Daytona. Any final thoughts to wrap off the interview?
Well, I'd like to thank my sponsors, 213simware.com, Transcendent Designs, Reaper Apparel Company, Shinesty, Back Pocket Designs, and Pixel Source, Back Pocket, Transcendent Designs, and Pixel Source are how to design a car. You can use code FSM10 for 10% off at ReaperApparel.com. And, well, I'm just looking forward to the rest of the season.
There we have it. A great way to start it. Looking forward to the rest. Forrest Smith comes home third in our season opener, the Big Evo Designs 200. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Just like that, your top 3 interviews have concluded. Forrest Smith finishes in third. Anthony DeBarro comes home in second. Travis McQueen coming home with his first career victory, gets it done in double overtime, winning here at Daytona. Fantastic way to start the Ignite Series season up. Next Monday, we will be racing again, and it will be at Watkins Glen. And tomorrow night we'll be back racing as well at the Michigan International Speedway for the Integrity Octane Series. A lot of drivers from this race will be carrying over there, so you won't want to miss that one either. Gotta thank y'all for watching live on FTN as it's been last season and this one now. I'm your host for tonight's broadcast, David Kreutz. Fantastic to have the crowd we did all night long. If you love to show your favorite driver some support, subscribe to our channel for unlimited chat room access. You can shout out your favorite driver whenever you want. I'm sure they love to hear it back when going through the broadcast. Been all night long, fantastic performances from all drivers, and we thank the viewers for stopping by to make this show possible. Our studios to your homes. We hope you enjoyed tonight's presentation of the Integrity Ignite series. Hope to see you as viewers whenever we're live again on FTN. Thank you all for your support, and we hope you had a great night.